This is Manin Rabu from Batam. I love listening to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
I'm Sela Sadakau from Vatupula. I only listen to Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Gold Naka, I'm Vale and I'm working at Golden Pro Resort, and I love listening to Gold FM because it plays a really wide range of classic music.
I'm Saini Sakio from Kashmir Wotoka. I like Gold FM, but only the classic hits.
Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Good evening, I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. This is FBC News. Tonight, Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says he strongly supports suspension of NFP MP Tupou Ndronindalo. 4 homes destroyed in a fire, leaving 11 people homeless. At Fiji Roads Authority to step up bridge inspections. Eleven people are homeless after a fire destroyed 4 houses in the Muslim League settlement in Nambua Suva. The fire is believed to have started around 5:30 this morning. Pranita Prakash has more.
This is what's left of the 4 homes, burnt beyond recognition. One homeowner, Abdul Jamshid, has been living in this informal settlement for almost 45 years.
Started about, I think, about 5:30 to 6. We were all sleeping. But when we woke up, it all started. We couldn't save anything. We just don't know what the cause of the fire from inside.
Some of the families tried to put out the fire but had to rush to safety as the situation quickly became dangerous. Aisha Bibi has lost her home and a small business.
I was running my canteen here, right? And then from there it came to the second house, and then so quickly it just came to us, we couldn't save anything in the house. Because the fire was so quickly, and then it just went in so quickly, we couldn't save a single thing. I was going to save, and then people just pushed me out of the house. I couldn't do anything.
National Fire Authority says an investigation is now underway. Pranita Prakash, FBC News.
The Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama says suspended NFP parliamentarian Tupou Ndronindalo's accusations were inaccurate and deeply irresponsible. In a government statement, Bainimarama says he strongly supports Parliament's decision to suspend Ndronindalo because she sought to add an element of ethnic prejudice into the debate. Ellen Stoltz tells us more.
Bainimarama says it's unacceptable for any member of Parliament to misuse their right to engage in parliamentary debate by falsely accusing another of ethnic discrimination. In a statement issued last night, Bainimarama says Ndronindalo's statement discredits the minister unfairly and brings ethnic tension and discord. A heated debate also broke out in Parliament between the opposition whip Isor Tikoda and Attorney General Aya Said Kayum.
You are promoting your own kind in positions to actually take this kind. This is the thing that I'm saying.
Madam Speaker, point of order.
Point of order.
A point of order, Madam Speaker. He said I'm promoting people of my own kind. That is making a communal reference. The standing orders does not allow for a member of the House to make communal references. What is my own kind? People from Nandrunga? Am I a Muslim? Because I'm Fijian? Because I went to Maurice? What is my own kind? You tell me, what is my own kind? Yes.
It's on record and we can see our eyes. It's all deployed.
What is my own kind, Madam Speaker? That is the issue. Because he is reprimanded for saying his own kind.
That is why the natives are worried about your reference.
What native? Who's worried?
Following the vote that saw 28 vote for Ndronindalo's suspension, 16 against and 6 did not vote, members of opposition immediately left without waiting for Parliament to adjourn. Parliament is scheduled to convene on the 22nd of June. Ellen Stoltz, FBC News.
Airports Fiji Limited has made a record-breaking operating profit of over $40 million in 2015. This is an unprecedented financial result for AFL. Ali Kimbia has the details.
The meteoric turnaround in profits was made possible through a successful restructure of revenues and expenditure. In a statement released by Airports Fiji Limited, Executive Chairman Faiz Khan says the profit is a huge increase when compared to the $18 million in 2014. Khan says the record speaks for itself as AFL has hit the highest operating revenues and lowest operating expenses over the past 5-year period. He says having strong fundamentals is critical for AFL to build an airport infrastructure to world-class standards. Statistics released by AFL has seen the increase of operating profits since 2007. The chair has also thanked the great effort and teamwork of all staff. Khan says the full effect of the profit will be seen in 2016 and beyond. Despite the positive outcome, Khan reveals other major projects that AFL is embarking on includes building a new terminal longer runway at Nausori. AFL is also exploring the possibility of a new airport in Vanuatu, extending the Mate runway, building new terminals in Koro and Vanuatu that were destroyed after Tropical Cyclone Winston. Airport Fiji Limited is currently spending millions of dollars in improving its traffic surveillance capabilities. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
With the main bridge connecting Suva to Lami and onwards now reduced to one lane, the Fiji Roads Authority has come under the spotlight. Questions are being raised on their maintenance works for bridges around the country. Jackie Spate reports.
With the Tamavoiwai Bridge now closed for another month due to further strengthening works, questions have been raised as to how strong other bridges are.
We have a program of bridge inspections. So the first checks were done in 2012, visual inspections. Then there were on a range of bridges that presented a certain level of risk. We undertook secondary visual inspections in 2015. And now we're going to start a program of much more detailed inspection of all of these bridges so that we can really get a measure as to the quantum of work to be done.
There are 193 bridges on the Queen's Road and 104 bridges on the King's Road. Visual inspections identified a total of 7 high-priority bridges on these critical routes and a further 24 bridges which are medium-high priority.
We've been conscious of the fact that there's been a lot of damage to bridges and roads across Fiji as a consequence of overloading for some time now. However, we have never really had an accurate measure of it. More recently, we've started to get data which quantifies the degree of overloading.
Garland says observation of vehicles which are clearly overweight have been documented in order to understand the extent of the problem.
We're working closely with LTA to ensure that we get this under control. And there's several things we need to do as part of this. Firstly, we need to make sure everyone's got a good, clear understanding of what the legal limits are in the regulations.
Garland says enforcement of regulations needs to be taking place and more communication between the industry and the authority needs to occur so as to ensure that there is no further damaging of bridges and roads. Jackie Spate, FBC News.
A 30-year-old mechanic died at his work site in Nasautoka in Tailevu yesterday morning. Police spokesperson Ananai Sora says the man received serious injuries when the track blade of a bulldozer hit his head. The man was rushed to the Koravo Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Coming up on FBC News, 12,000 traffic infringements so far this year. And policing Fiji's exclusive economic zone, a challenge for the Fiji Navy. Stay with us.
FM rocks. My name is Denasa and I'm from Lutoka and I love listening to Today FM.
My name is Hulamila. I work at Golden Point Resort. I love listening to Today FM. It rocks in Raki Raki.
I'm Mary from Mandera. I love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks. We love listening to Today FM. Today FM rocks.
Today's hit music on Today FM.
Welcome back here with FBC News. Police say young drivers are failing to follow the rules of the road and have so far recorded about 50 serious traffic accidents this year. Director Traffic SSP Mahesh Mishra says these young drivers are not adhering to voluntary compliance, which is becoming a major challenge for the force. Kelly Vidala has the details.
Young drivers were in the majority of 20 road fatalities this year,
and police statistics show they have been ignoring the rules of the road.
Majority of these drivers were below 30 years. And if I may say that 21, 19, 22 years, 24 years. So if you see, it's young drivers. If they are on the road, it is governed by the law. And this is where we are getting a lot of crosses with our drivers, because sometimes they think they can do anything on our road.
East Coast Driving School Director Elvin Prasad says young new drivers are being taught road regulations and many hours are spent in practical runs.
According to the standards that LTA has set for us, we teach them 20 hours of practical lessons and also 10 hours of theory. Basically learn how to be on the road and manage the road.
Fiji Driving School Association Executive Committee Semi Rongoyawa says a lot of young people are very keen to get behind the wheel, and this increases the number of new drivers coming into the driving schools every year.
Young new drivers are very keen. They are very fast in learning because of the computer. You put them on the wheel, you can teach them. First of all, we need to teach them the correct procedures. One, they have to go through tutorial for 10 hours and 20 hours on theoretically on the practical on the wheel.
Police have recorded 12,000 traffic tickets in the last 4 months. A majority of these traffic offences were caused by new young drivers. Kelly Vadala, FBC News.
The government says despite limited resources to monitor our exclusive economic zone and conduct search and rescue operation, strides are being made to ensure a successful outcome. Speaking in Parliament, Defence Minister Timothy Natuva said out of 5 incidents at sea in the last 18 months, 4 rescue operations have been successful. Savara Tambor reports.
The search and rescue operations were successful thanks to the software being used by the Fiji Navy. Defence Minister Timothy Natuva confirms further improvement to the competencies of the Navy will be included in the National Security Strategy and White Paper.
Madam Speaker, currently the monitoring of the EEZ is a vast responsibility. Given the large ocean space of Fiji archipelagic waters, there is no doubt that Fiji resources are extremely stretched. In terms of these monitoring tasks, and the Navy and others relevant stakeholders experiences of today. As part of the undergoing national security strategy and the white papers to be produced resultantly, the Navy will be submitting their capability and capacity plans.
Opposition MPs had numerous questions on how monitoring and operations at sea would be successful and effective in times of need.
Under the Marine Safety Authority, MAMSAF regulations, all vessels that enter Fiji territorial waters are monitored under the Automatic Identification System, AIS. The system accessible to the Navy also assists the monitoring of vessels.
The ministry has also plans to utilize aerodrome and satellite images given the large area of Fiji's exclusive economic zone. Defence Minister Natuva also says the Fiji Navy will be reviewing its agreement on joint sea operations with the French and New Zealand government to assist in the search and rescue operations. Sabera Tambua, FBC News.
70 more troops arrived from the Indonesian military for the Queen Victoria School renovation work. There are now 100 Indonesian military personnel working on QVS, along with almost 12 Republic of the Fiji military force personnel assisting. Work has begun on the main hall, and the priority now is the construction of a new double-story dormitory at the school. The government of Indonesia has opted to carry out renovations to the school under the government's Adopt a School initiative launched earlier this year. Suva on Sale has kicked off in the capital city today. As the name suggests, the week-long event sees shops offering major discounts of a range of items. Parts of Cumming Street, Mark Street and Renwick Road have been converted to single-lane traffic only. Shop owners will have these stalls set up in the streets for the duration of Suva on Sale, and it ends on the 11th of June. And world news, a French naval ship searching for EgyptAir Flight 804 has detected signals from the plane's black box after just hours of searching. However, it could take several days until it's recovered from the bottom of the sea. Coming up in sports, Flying Fijians coach impressed with the players. And runners clock good time in Suva Marathon. This and more coming up.
खोखरगंगा के रंजिला का नमस्कार। रेडियो फिजी की सुंदर सुंदर यादों का खजाना एकदम बचपन के दिन याद करा देते हैं।
हमारा नाम जोनी नायडू है, हम रहता है मलोलो में और हम टैक्सी ड्राइवर है। हम सब टाइम अपन टैक्सी में रेडियो फिजी सुनता प्रोग्राम।
हम सिंगाचोका के हैं, हमारा नाम है रोजी। हम लोग यहाँ पे रेडियो फिजी 2 सुनता है।
राम राम, मैं रेमस प्रसाद बोलता हूँ, तब में कोई रहता हूँ। मैं जब भी सुना रेडियो फिजी 2 ही सुनता हूँ।
रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन।
Welcome to FPC Sports. Now, Vodafone Flying Fijians' final 28-member squad will march into camp on Monday, preparing for the Pacific Nations Cup opener against Tonga. Coach John McKee is pleased with training so far. Vashnil Prasad reports.
With 6 days remaining before the Flying Fijians begins its Pacific Nations Cup campaign, Coach John McKee says everything has been working out as planned.
It's the last few days to start to put our team structures in place, and I think it's given us a little bit of a head start for next week so we can really hit the ground running on Monday in preparation for the Tonga match.
Some prominent names are missing from the squad, and hopes have now turned on the players like Ben Volavola, Sonia Koto, Tevita Davumbati, Sherma Yambai, Nemia Kenatale, and likely debutant Patrick Osborne.
We've had a few of our senior players here, working our way through our structures and our plans, but also for the fringe players and some of the younger players to learn what we're doing and the sort of intensity we need to play at.
28 players will march into camp on Monday, but McKee will have players on standby for the PNC and the test against Georgia.
A couple of extra players in the squad to cover us for training, and if we get any injuries during the series, I mean they're the players we'd look to call up.
Experienced lock Tevita Davumbati says 3 days of training has been quite beneficial.
The boys starting to gel together, getting to know each other, so it's coming on really well.
The Flying Fijians takes on Tonga next Saturday at ANZ Stadium in Suva. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
Nandonga has created a major upset in the Skipper Cup, beating Suva 18-13 at Lawanga Park. Nandonga's Eliasa Leather and Joeli Lutumailangi scored the tries, while Meli Koroisaru managed 2 for Suva. This is the first loss for the capital city side. Well, Nandonga has now won all its 4 matches so far. Southern Zone Secondary School's Rugby Union's under-18 defending champions, Maris Brothers High, is on track to retain its title. Maris trumps Ratu Sukuna Memorial School 43-6 in the pool place today. In the other match, Suva Grammar beat Dudley by 20-0. The winner and the runners-up of the under-18 division will qualify to the Dean's competition later in the year. And the Southern Zone continues next weekend. Defenders in the Vodafone Fiji football team will play a huge role in the team's do-or-die match against Vanuatu in the OFC Nations Cup. The team's defence has been shaky at times in matches against New Zealand and Solomon Islands. With New Zealand on top of Group B, both Solomon Islands and Fiji enter the final round with high hopes of grabbing the second spot in the semi-finals.
Lovely ball from Donga.
Fiji versus Vanuatu game kicks off straight after this bulletin, and you can watch it live on FBC TV. The Island Chill Silver Marathon was a tough one for athletes who took part this morning. Organisers say runners clocked good times building up to the major race in July. Vashnil Prasad with the details.
Around 30 athletes were part of the Suva Marathon 5 and 10 kilometer time trials this morning. This is the pace expected in the biggest race of the year in July.
Warm-up races for the marathon, which is on the 23rd of July. So we've got a few happening over the next few weeks. And it was great to see people turn out and support the event.
There were 4 winners, one each in the male and female division in both categories.
It's for the preparation of the EU Fun Run coming up on the 2nd of July, and then maybe we participate in the marathon.
Organisers have been impressed with the times, and to add to the competition, overseas runners will be joining the marathon in July.
The competition is stiff. There's a lot of prizes to give away, instant prizes, awards as well. We have medals for 10K runners as well. Most of all, we have international runners coming in as well.
Suva Marathon will host 2 more warm-up runs. Vashnil Prasad, FBC Sports.
New champions will be crowned in the singles discipline of the South Pacific Bowling Carnival tomorrow. And the quarterfinals currently underway. Semesa Naiseruvatu is playing Samuela Tui. 2014 champion Abdul Kalim is facing off Arun Kumar from Nandi. Martin Fong is up against Tom Reynolds, and Amitesh Lal faces Joanna Koraitamana. In the women's division, Litia Tikoisuva is the favorite to win the singles title. The finals will be played tomorrow at the Suva Bowling Club. Legendary boxer Muhammad Ali has died at the age of 74 in a Scottsdale hospital after a long battle with Parkinson's disease. Ali had been battling health issues for several years leading up to his death. He was taken to the hospital from a Valley home on May 31st for a respiratory issue and was originally expected to only stay there for a few days. Ali will be remembered forever in the sporting family. The country today experienced fine weather. Brief showers were part of the mix in some parts of the country. Fine weather in most parts of the country resulted in similar temperatures everywhere. Neighbours in the west, Ba and Lautoka, were a high of 30 degrees this afternoon. All other major centres were in the high 20s. Perhaps plan for a picnic tomorrow, as fine weather is forecast for the Fiji group. Chances of brief showers does exist for the Eastern Division. Monday is forecast to bring brief showers about the eastern parts and interior of the larger islands. Elsewhere, it will be mainly fine. Recapping the main stories. 11 people left homeless after early morning fire in Nambua, Suva. Prime Minister Voreqe Bainimarama strongly supports the parliamentary suspension of MP Tupou Nronindalo. In airports, Fiji Limited posts records profit in 2015 financial year. For these stories and others, you can tune in daily to our sister radio station, Gold FM. Time for this week's poll question. We ask, should Fijians be redeployed to Sinai if the security situation improves? You can visit our FBC website to answer. You can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizens@fbc.com.fj, or share it with us via our Facebook page, FBC News. If you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC News or hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Amrita Priyadarshini. Good night.
Alango Katonesia Tugotua, Awonia Saurara, although we will take you on a TV and a market Tawa. Although Talitagana, Warrona, Bula FM, and Namandu and Sir.
Pulamana Viti, Nadango Palacio Materia, one of my Nana Bula Tabiuni, Ausatunga Nandi, and the Talitaina, Warrongo, and a Bula FM. Bula!
Bula FM, number 2 and Seri.